Hi everyone, thanks for checking out another Eagle Eye Productions video. And today we got a request by one of my longtime subscribers, a guy from the United States. He asked me to review a BMW 7 Series that is about 10 years old, maybe a little bit less old, between 10 years old and let's say 8, 7 years old. So a fairly recent BMW. I don't know what the prices will be in the United States, sir. I don't think they are comparable, but in this video I will show you what the prices are going to be in the Netherlands. And they are probably shocking to you. I don't know what the euro to dollar ratio is today. But, let's find out together. So I just filled in BMW 7 Series model year 2014 to 2017. And we got 80 results here. And this is a very fine piece of automobile. And the most expensive one here in the Netherlands, because we select the prices from high to low. The most expensive one is this M760 Li, which was the V12 that they still built back in 2017. Guys, this is the latest 7 Series to offer a V12. Sorry, and that's his. Let's just go into it. 65,000 kilometers driven. Let's see, 90k. Don't trust his kilometers, actually. I mean, yeah. Okay, but let's just go into it. 2017 petrol automatic sedan in blue. So this is the top model for this series, this 7 Series. Right off the bat, it seems used to me. But it is the Big Daddy, the V12. We will go into the specifics later, but this doesn't look like a car that only drives 65k, or it's been 65k hard miles. Here we got the V12 badges. Guys, this is the last, the Mohicans when it comes to BMW. This is the most expensive 7 Series in the Netherlands from this model year. Let's check it out. Nice, I like it. Nice styling. You can see it's something special. Nice rims, V12 badges here. I mean, this is definitely a future classic, so it totally belongs into this playlist. Okay, it's now 2024, but this is definitely something that we're going to look back at it. This was the last V12 of BMW. And it's not even that old, 2017. Yeah, so this is a modern BMW, it is, with a V12. So let's check. It is 6.5 liters, V12, 610 horsepower, which is plenty, definitely. It weighs a lot, 90k. I think this is suspect. This doesn't look like it's been driving only 65k, but apart from that, it's great. So you have an M760 Li. So Li is the long wheelbase model. It is M performance. It is a V12, and it packs more than 600 horsepower, which is crazy. And this car goes from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, which is crazy for more than 2 tons. Again, last V12 from BMW. I remember when these were introduced back in the day. Yeah, crazy. But this is the top spec model. Let's go for a normal kind of variant. This is also... Okay, this is driven more, but this looks more factory fresh than the other one. The other one has been through some abuse, it looks like. Here we have better pictures. So this is basically the same car, different rims, kind of the same um, um, paint job. Yeah, this is how it looks like. This looks way cleaner. It's done 30k in miles more, but look at the seats. Remember the old seats? Yeah, I mean, no, I don't want to chat. Get lost. I don't got money. Sorry. Um, yeah, look at this. I mean, you can see by the rims and by the brake calipers it has been used. Um, ZF 90k. Yeah, you can see some hands been touching this. This looks more believable. But think about it. For 2017, you had I don't know the diameter of this, but this looks small, but it is a big car. 2017, we already had smartphones and everything. It wasn't great, but technology goes so fast. But I think pure on the strength of this being the last V12, it is a classic already. And this is really they crammed all the technology and all the vision. It was like a big bang, before we already see the signs, because Dieselgate was 2015-ish, and since that time, which is almost 10 years ago, they've been cramping down on the automotive industry for making ridiculous engines with ridiculous output. We don't want that all of a sudden. All of a sudden here in the Netherlands, most people drive 1 liter 3 cylinders with a turbo. And these engines are stressed all the time. They don't deliver. They have huge turbo lag. And nobody seems to enjoy them. But people buy cars with their wallet here, not because they like cars. And cars are all about emotions. I mean, rationally, you would never buy a 7 Series like this. But what if you have the money and it doesn't hurt? Then you would buy it, because this is something special. And this is the type of car that you can drive to Italy this afternoon, no matter what. You can start now and you see where you end up, and you can drive 200 kilometers an hour or above in comfort. This is eating up the road in such an amazing way that you can never imagine. And when you get out, you feel relaxed. You had a back massage, you had heated and ventilated chairs, you probably have a fridge in the back, and you have this kind of car. I would totally fall in love with this if this car took me all over Europe, and now I'm able to drive it. And when I have a buddy or somebody else that can drive it, take it over from me, and I can lay down in the back and have a nap. This is like a private airplane on wheels. If I had the money, I would do it. Rationally, no, don't do it. But this is 80k, guys. And this is a top spec model from not too long time ago. And I think when they were new, they were about above 300,000. 250 to 300,000, I bet. And especially here in the Netherlands. So I don't know what European prices are. Please leave a comment in the description below this video. We are very much punished here in the Netherlands to drive a car like this. If you're a big CEO in Germany, they wouldn't hurt you that much, because it's also a way to stimulate their economy and their these cars are very exclusive. Not a lot of people can afford them, but when you can afford them like this, again, it's a private jet on wheels. You cannot knock that. So the most expensive ones are all M760 Li's. Here we have an L long wheel version 730D for 50k. It's done a little bit more kilometers, but it's a diesel, which is also frowned upon nowadays. But look at it. Look at it. Almost 120. And it looks like it's M performance as well. I mean, it's a bit vulgar maybe. It is definitely a European car, definitely. I don't know what kind of statement you're making showing up in the company parking lot with a car like this, but if you do, then you probably have a good job, and yeah, you got some money to blow. You do. I like it, but at the same time, it's kind of vulgar. I just can't shake that. It's like, I don't know. This is a typical car. I don't know if I am offending somebody, but nowadays you do very quickly. This is the type of car that you drive when you have lots of money and no taste. Not saying that the car is bad looking, but if you have that amount of money, you want something with a little bit more class. And I don't think this 7 Series is classy in any kind of way. This is quite arrogant. It's quite brash. From the outlook, I would never get a car in this kind of trim. This is kind of ridiculous. I don't know how how viewers look at this. I mean, it's delicate thing because it's really based on taste. Um, yeah, to a certain extent, I enjoy this to look at it just from the aesthetic point of view. But it is ridiculous. It is. But it does look. I don't know what it is about this car. It's funny to me. But let's try to get into some details real quick. Just a second. Yeah, this is so unnecessary but so cool at the same time, right? And the whole vibe in the cabin is such a high tech product. Look at this. It's yeah. It really depends on listen. If you're a mob boss in the United States in New York, then this is totally appropriate. Um, let's say, for instance, you're the CEO of a company that advocates the environment and all kinds of agendas. This is totally not done. It really depends on where you work, what kind of people you hang out with. I can admire it for a certain part of me, and for the other part, I just think it's so over the top and so ridiculous. But yeah, it's great that you have that choice. It's fantastic. So let's check it out. It's a 3-liter six-cylinder, pushing out 265 horses, and it is a diesel. So this is one of the last of the 3-liter six-in-line diesels. Probably has one or two turbos as well. And this is in the basis. It's a very successful diesel engine from BMW that's been around for quite a while. So I think basically 2017 marked the peak of BMW. All that knowledge from the previous 30 years was crammed in those last kind of models, like the peak and the peak. And after this, it only got downhill from here. A diesel used to be very big in Europe. Still, many people drive diesel when they make lots of kilometers. It's just way more fuel efficient. When I speak for the Netherlands, when you drive a diesel, you pay twice the road tax, which is, yeah, it's kind of a punishment at a certain way, because they think diesel is very polluting. Yeah, I don't like old diesels, but new diesels are quite clean. They're fuel efficient. I think that should be encouraged, but somehow we don't want to do that because that will hinder the evolution of the electronic vehicle, the EV. And that will fail in the long run as well. Just my 2 cents on that topic. It will. But let's just continue. Let's see, 750. This is the 5-liter V8 with 450 horsepower. This has done only 52. Who buys a 7 Series and in 10 years drives 52,000 kilometers? Come on, guys. Logical thinking is very critical when buying these cars. I mean, 100,000 more or less, you will not see it, you will not feel it. These cars are made to drive long distances, but it looks overall good and clean. But nobody buys this car brand new and decides not to drive with it. That's just ridiculous. Then you might just, buy a great electrical bike and do your thing that way. But all in all, it looks good. Leather looks okay. I mean, it could all make sense. But then you buy this car for what was it again? Under 50K. It got everything on it that you want. It's yeah. Here you got these PlayStation things. This couple is Newton meters, torque, and this is vermogen is horsepower, I think. All these driving settings, all the things. It's already quite electric. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Don't know. Should you do this? I mean, I don't know if my audience is in the market for a 7 Series. Again, I'm recording this from the Netherlands. Cars are quite expensive here. We have put penalties on driving diesels. We have put penalties on cars that weigh above 1,500, 2,000 kilos when it comes to road tax. But I think when you can afford a car like this, you don't care. It's okay. You are driving lots of kilometers, or when you drive your car, you want to enjoy it. And yeah, it has something to do with what you want and not what the government tells you what to do. That's just what it boils down to. And we're here in the Netherlands. I'm about 50 kilometers from the German border. When I pick up a 7 Series there, they're way cheaper. It all has to do with stimulating their car industry. And here, everybody that drives a car like this has to pay. I think I told you that already in other videos as well. 740 is probably the 4-liter V8. So this is a little bit above 40,000. Yeah, this is the previous generation 7 Series. I have to see what generation it is. I'm sorry, guys. Just a second. 7 Series. And then we do the research together with you. Yes, BMW 7 Series. So this is a G11. We're not talking about that one. We are talking about this car. I think the 6th generation. Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Exactly. The G11. That's what we're talking about. This is facelift. And this is prior to the facelift. I think it's a beautiful generation. And it was introduced in 2015, so almost 10 years ago. And it ran until 2022 when the new one was introduced. Okay, good to know. So this is the 6th generation already. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, Mercedes has certain style and appeal. And I think you buy a Mercedes if you want to sit in the back most often at this level. Of course, you can drive it yourself as well. You will enjoy it. But BMW always appealed more to the driving people that, most often sit behind the steering wheel themselves. So even though this BMW 7 Series gotten more comfortable over the years, the standard for comfort in this level, in this market, basically is defined by Mercedes-Benz. But I think BMW is in a nice spot between comfort and sportiness, because it also still likes to steer. And I saw a car reviewer once said that when you throw it into a corner, even though it's more than 2 tons, you do feel the weight. But it lets you feel in a certain way that this car is smaller than it actually is. And that's such a good achievement when it comes to the chassis, that I think that's phenomenal engineering. You can sit in the back of this car for many hours traveling high distance without a sweat. But when it comes down to take this car for a blast and for a few corners, it can do the same. and the limits of what is too much for this car is very high. Uh, I think that's amazing engineering. So that's why these cars are so expensive. Sometimes we really wonder why are these cars so expensive. It's ridiculous, but it's because there went so much research and development in a car like this that somebody needs to get paid. Let's see. Let's move down. Quite a lot of cars. Let's go for normal one. 40K. If I want, not to brag, but I could buy this. But then I would buy a car like this with my last savings. I would like to rent a car like this for a day and do like 400-500 kilometers in it. Make a video of it, who knows? I might still do that in the future. I would love to have the experience, not do anything crazy, just cruise around in it, take a blast down the highway, and not even driving 250. Maybe try to reach 200. I'm not familiar with these type of cars, but just the overall experience, it's sensory overload, I think. Beautifully put together, 2017. This is when things really got all digital. Yeah. Let's see. What else you want to see? Give me a shout out when I make this video, a little one. I appreciate you for sticking around for so many times, and I really like that you dig these videos. I really like that. Not even sure what age bracket you fall into. I'm close to 40 now. Maybe you're a little bit older. Maybe you're younger. I don't know. Are you actually planning to buy a 7 Series? Please let me know. Because if I had to buy a 7 Series and I don't want to break the bank, I think I would go for an old one, the E38, or maybe the one after that. But that one is with the bangle butt. Okay, I would go for the A38. But if you want a daily driver, then yeah, maybe you might get something more recent. If you do lots of kilometers, yeah, go for the inline 6 with the 3 liter, the diesel. But if you want something really special, go for the V12. Please let me know what you're thinking. Okay, let's do one more. Close to 10 years, a 750i X-Drive. So this is not the long wheelbase version. This is just the normal 7 Series. The 750, I think it used to be the V8. 35 and not even 200,000 kilometers on it. Look at what a beautiful car it is. And what you're buying for the money. And again, I'm sure these prices are quite high in comparing to other countries, but it is beautiful. Look at it. It's like a spaceship. Leather color choice and the wood is not really my taste, but I get it. Also, for Dutch viewers, it really depends if this car was original, first bought in the Netherlands, or it was imported. These cars need good service history. They do. They're very complex vehicles. They need their attention. They need their maintenance. And after spending a lot of money on it, buying it new, you need to spend a lot of money each year on it to make sure that it stays reliable. Maybe not the first couple of years, but afterwards they should. Service history, yeah, you can have service history here in the board computer, but just buy an OBD reader and see what the ECU says when it comes to mileage and about services. Make sure that you fully understand what's happening to a car like this. This could be just a car that stands on your driveway and you only drive long distances with or go to vacation with. Then it is still all manageable, I think. But yeah, I don't know. This is, I think, the last great 7 Series from BMW. I really think so. So strange kind of spots here. ZF transmission. Beautiful car. Let's gaze over a few more of these 7 Series, and then we're going to close off the video. Let's see. Of course, you also have the 740e. So it's like a mild hybrid. You have an electric engine. You have the normal the petrol engine. But let's see. I don't think it's a V8. I think it's a 6-cylinder with a. It's even a 4-cylinder. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder with extra. Yeah, it's a hybrid. No, stay away from this. This is nice when you buy it brand new. But 10 years down the line, you're going to regret it. Just go for something that has a track record like a 5-liter V8 or 4.4-liter V8 with 2 turbos, or just a V12. When you do lots of miles, go for diesel. Just enjoy it a couple of more years before it's really outlawed, when it's banned. When you want something that's collectible, you go for the highest performance V8. And if you can really afford it and to make a statement, go for the V12. I hope that helps. You see, these cars are still quite expensive, but you have to understand that the most expensive car, the V12, the 760 Li that we just showed you, that is more than 300,000 euros. So that's, yeah, that's crazy, you know? But now it can be picked up for under 100,000. The most expensive car here in the Netherlands is 90k for the top spec model. But the first car I showed you, it kind of looks suspect. And you need to you need to see them, you need to drive them, you need to see service history. I cannot stress that enough. But if you really want the last and the best, M760 Li, that's the one to go for. Thanks for watching. It was great to make this video. I hope you appreciated my favorite subscriber. I really like that you stick around for all these years. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing fine. Yeah, actually don't mind to meet you. Maybe we should do a Zoom call or whatever, Teams call or whatever. Wanted to get to know you a bit. I'm planning to go to the United States maybe in the next 2 years. Who knows? Anyway, maybe it's too personal, maybe it's too close. We'll see. Hope you're doing fine. Yeah, have a great week.